Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar on how to get started in aesthetics without business or injecting experience. I am your host for the next hour or so. My name is Tom Polisi. I am the owner of Las Vegas Aesthetics, a beautiful building out here in, of course, Las Vegas, Nevada. And we are going to move very fast. This webinar is key for PAs and nurses, nurse practitioners, MDs, chiropractors, estheticians, if you're able to inject, or if you just want to learn how, DOs, anyone who is interested in getting into this fabulous world of aesthetic medicine. And our goal here, okay, we have three goals. In the small amount of time we have together, it is to make a huge impact in the following three ways. Instant confidence, okay, clarity where there was confusion and doubt. And then third, to unlock within you your true potential before the numbers on your paycheck dictate your entire life, which they do. And I'm here to tell you there is no better place than the aesthetics world and anti-aging and wellness markets to make that happen. Yet, if nothing else, I'm here to teach you a pathway to make more money and lots of it. If that is okay with you, I'm sure it is. All right. What I need from you, all right, one word, implementation. Nothing pains me more than teaching someone step by step how to get started in aesthetics and help you build to 100,000 a year part-time, and you do nothing with it. Okay, it's a terrible thing. You're going to be spoon fed. All right. So what I need from you today is that you're going to implement. Okay. One thing that will help you get started, if you've never seen the movie The Secret, you should rent it or get it, download it, whatever you have to do. Just watch it tonight, and this thought will help pull this concept together. Thoughts become things. If you see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hand. Thoughts become things. If you see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hand. Can't tell you how many times this has come true for me utilizing this concept. So, do we have a deal? I hope so. Good. And if you stay to the end, I will show a live Botox treatment so you can see how simple it actually is. Guys, it's not difficult at all. It takes learning. Of course, there's a curve, like everything, but it is not difficult at all. Now, I'm going to explain how this whole thing came to be. I used to be a bit of a rock star. I toured all over the place. But like this world has a ticking clock to it. So I wound up going into cardiothoracic. And believe me, I was super excited, ecstatic to be doing this kind of work. I felt privileged to do it. But as they say, show me someone who's smiling at work, and I will show you someone who's been there 6 months or less. And man, this was me. I was flustered. I was frustrated. I was mad. But this is kind of what led to this webinar. If I felt this way, I'm sure many of you feel this way, or you wouldn't be watching this webinar, right? You're not in control. I'm sure you don't like getting up at 5:15, being told what to do, being told what you're worth, when you can go on vacation, how long you can go on vacation, being told you're unable to make any more money, being surrounded by limited thinkers, not in control of your life, definitely not enough income. Who feels like they make too much money, right? Feeling like you deserve more, like much, much more. And you're probably looking like I was. And on top of that, at least once every couple of weeks or so, I get a medical professional in my facility asking me, how the hell did you do this? Can you show me how you built this whole practice on your own? And I say no, because I don't teach competition locally. But remember what Bob Proctor said, when you see it in your mind, you'll hold it in your hand. This company comes into the picture all of a sudden out of nowhere, right? And this is one of the leading skincare, nutrition, research and development companies. They're a multi-billion-dollar international company. But here is where I learned about business and distribution models and supply chains and raw ingredients and things like that. But I also learned income potential. And let me tell you, this field, there is not millions, there is multi billions that is available. So let's forward to where I'm at today, qualification-wise. Graduated in 1998 out of LIU Brooklyn. I did cardiothoracic 6 years, plastic surgery 2.5, general surgery 3 years. I own my own liposuction practice for 1.5 years. I've been doing non-surgical aesthetics for 17, 18 years now. Remember, a lot of this is overlapping. I own Las Vegas Aesthetics, and I have a database of approximately 7,800 patients. I'm a presidential champion level injector. It's the highest level there is. And I'm considered an expert in regenerative medicine. And I do all these procedures. I make guest appearances on local news for whatever they ask me to do. And my 1-day fee for in-office training, it's about $4,000. And let me preface this part by saying I'm not trying to get you guys to come in. In fact, you can't come in because place is actually, it's busy. You're not, it would take months to get you in, and that's not what the goal of this is. And the $4,000, that's not including the hotel and the food and the airfare and expenses. Remember, it's Vegas, so you're going to easily drop another grand. So figure $5,000 for the 3 days that you would need to be in, and that's only the 1-day fee, right? So what I did was I created the Academy for Non-Surgical Aesthetics to fill the need for this being taught to medical professionals that want to get into this business. There's no course like it, because it also, among the injecting side, which is obviously critical, it also teaches the business side, which is, in my opinion, even more critical, because you could be the best there is. If nobody knows you exist, you're going to fail. All right. So how do I qualify to have this kind of school? Is because of the errors. I've made a lot of errors. It's cost me tens of thousands of dollars, years to gain this insider knowledge. I've learned what works, and I learned what does not work. And how that happened was I've worked in the 4 main locations that someone like me can work and build in. And that's where I learned the lessons. I worked for a medical spa chain. I was chief injector in 4 of 56 locations. I had 51% of over 9,500 patients. We were cranking, ridiculous busy. I built several medical office models with me one-on-one with the MD, and I would see his patients in his office. Didn't have any bills, but massive limitations on how much you can grow there. So then I got my own surgery practice. We were doing half lipo and half aesthetics. Too bad the admin side was just riddled with problems, and I got out of there as fast as I could. But where I really kicked butt was in the beauty salon models. That I thrived in like you couldn't believe. Again, chief injector for 6 major salons in the Vegas area, and I had over 600 chairs feeding referrals. And talk about being ridiculously busy. And that was years ago, and those people are still coming to me years later, 5, 6, 7 years later. All right. So there were tons of Facebook questions that I get all the time based on this little section here on where do I work? Where do I start? Let me tell you something. Dysfunction exists, and it's prominent, and it's everywhere, all over the place in these models. All right. So what I found that I was doing was I was solving problems. I was solving other people's problems, and I was increasing their revenue, bringing them to $100,000 a month from $22,000 a month, driving them to over $100,000. I'm like, you know what? This is ridiculous. And I realized I was the talent, the same way you guys are going to realize you will be the talent. You're the person people will come to see, and they will push people out of the way to come make an appointment with you, but you have to be the best. There's no if, ands, or buts about this. Because if you're mediocre and someone does a Groupon for $25 less than your price, they're leaving you and they're going to go to them. But if you're fantastic at what you do and they love you to death, they will not leave even when you raise your prices. Trust me on this. They will not leave. All right. And that's exactly what you want. Are you going to have challenges? Yes, you will. And there's several of them. Your ability, you're going to question it. I'm here to tell you, you already know 80% of what you need to know. All right. Trust. Can you trust what I'm telling you? I will open my books in the next few slides so you can see. Is that okay with you guys? You want to see what I actually make? I'm sure I'm sure you do. Fear. Was I fearful? You bet your butt I was. I didn't have anyone to help walk me through the process, but you do actually. Timing. Oh, I don't know if the timing is. Should I do it now? Should I wait half a year? Should I wait 3 years? No. Do you know anyone who is not 1 day older than they were yesterday? No, everyone gets older every single day. The timing is right now. Belief. You've tried things before, you couldn't do it. Why is this different? I'll tell you why. Because you have a presidential champion level injector here to guide you every step of the way. Remember, I'm going to spoon feed you guys this stuff. Now, let's switch to business, because it's, like I said, it's vitally important. Here's a question. Why are 95% of all small businesses out of business in less than 5 years? There's 2 reasons. Lack of capital, which is cash flow, and lack of business knowledge. Without business knowledge, you will burn through your money so fast you won't know what hit you, and that is when you go out of business. So the lessons are learned. It is essential that you learn the business side to survive. That's why this is called How to Get Started in Aesthetics Without Business or Injecting Experience. And see this woman's face over here? This is your ideal client. These are the crow's feet. These are the glabella lines, the frown lines that you're going to come across every single day. No, that's not a Botox needle. You will bruise the hell out of them if you use that needle. Don't use it. Let's keep going. There are tons of schools. out there that will teach you injections. I know because I've spoken at several of them. None teach the injections and the business of injecting. They just don't do it. They don't have the time in the curriculum because they're forcing it down your throat in an afternoon session. There's not enough time to do it. Without a solid business strategy, you will fail 95 times out of 100. I had posted a while back, give me your top number one question. If you could sit down with me for 20 minutes, what is your top number one question? People were ding, ding, ding. It was ridiculous. It was like 160, 170 responses in 24 hours. All right. Number one, startup cost. You guys want to know what it costs to start up this business? The number one most asked question in private message, totally different, is how much money can I make if I do this? People want to know, is it worth starting it? All right. So let's go back to the first question, startup cost. Here's a quick summary of what things are going to cost you. Rent, $500 to $700. Supplies, $200 to $500. Needles, syringes, organizers, small fridge. My fridge costs $10 on Craigslist. All right, that's how simple it could be. Your highest cost is going to be the Botox or Dysport that you're going to use. Two bottles, $1,200. Your medical director, $500, $600, $400, depends what you work out. And in the course, I go over exactly how to approach medical directors and which products to use, which supplies to use. I give you lists and phone numbers and all that kind of stuff. I go over how you can structure rent as well, that it actually pays for itself. So, all right, let's keep going. Website landing page, $200. Liability insurance, I have a secret for you that will help you immensely with that. One of your most important things, a cell phone with unlimited texting, $99. And isn't it funny that your most important asset, your Facebook page, your Instagram page, your YouTube channel, they're free. They don't cost you anything, but they're your most important. Isn't that odd, right? But altogether, $4,350, $4,400, $4,500, roughly speaking. Now let's look at the number one question in private message. How much money can I make if I do this, right? You guys ready for this? So this is from March 2018. So it's 3 years ago, 3+ years ago, right? So gross revenue. But for that month, it was $61,258. COGS is cost of goods sold. It was $16,110. Expenses for the month were $63,10. So my total expenses are $22,420. You want your total expenses to be 1/3 of your gross. Okay, does that make sense? And this is. So my total profit for the month is $33,800. So that was a real kick, making that in the month, right? But here's what's better. I only worked 14 days, and I didn't work 8-hour days. It's like 3-4 hours. So the question is startup cost. What it really means is your return on the investment. How fast can you make your startup cost back? Do you care if it's $100,000 if you make $200,000 back in 4 months? No, not at all. It's how fast can you make your startup cost back? Your startup cost is a whole lot less than the cost of you not starting. Does that make sense? Let me go over that again. Your startup cost is a whole lot less than the cost of you not starting, and here's why. Look at the daily over there. 43.76 minus 16. What you lose is 27.74 a day by not starting. That's what you actually lose. And here's another part of it. When you don't start in your area, someone else says, you know what, this guy makes a lot of sense. I'm going to do this. You just lost that whole market to someone else who took advantage and took action and implemented. See, I keep coming back to that word. Does it make sense? Does this make sense with you guys? So how much money can you make? All right, let's look at this. My PA job, the last one was $72 an hour. So that an 8-hour day, 40 hours a week, it was $28.80 a week or $149.70 a year. All right, so it was $576 a day. A lot of math here. In aesthetics, $27.74 is for 4 hours, not 8. It's half the time. $693 an hour versus $72 an hour. It's approximately 10 times more, right? Or another way to look at it, $27.74 in 4 hours versus $28.80 in 40. It's 1/10 the time. No matter how you do this, you're going to make the money in about 1/10 the time once you get up and rolling. All right, so here is what I used to look like. And if you guys look like this, don't worry, things are going to change. Fast forward, you are in control of you, right? Your day starts at 10. You are the boss. You dictate your income. You go when you want, where you want, how you want to go. You're investing in yourself, and that's what's key. You invest in yourself. You have total control of your future. You have unlimited income ahead. If you follow the recipe that I'm going to lay out for you in the next few slides, okay? So stay tuned. You have 6 reasons to get excited, which I feel are like fantastic for you. Number one is burnout. I was so totally burnt out with cardiac, I couldn't even believe it. I was like very depressed about it, even though I was making over 100 grand a year, operating on people's hearts. I was depressed about it because there was no future in it. And being in aesthetics eliminates FPS, which is I call frying pan syndrome. All right. I did cardiac for 6 years, 40 to 70-hour weeks. There was zero growth in it. You couldn't excel anywhere. There was no place to go, right? There was a PA who was there for 22 years longer than I was, and he was making $10,000 more than I made. And it was just terrible. And he told me, get out now while you can. All right. So here's another reason to get excited. Supplemental income. You want a new kitchen. You want to pay off your student loans. I had a woman in who her student loans were due by the year 2048. I'm like, are you kidding me? She'd just do this, do aesthetics for a year and pay it off. Or you want your retirement, that's fine. You want a BMW with insurance paid, you see 4 patients in a month. And it'll give you the extra money to pay off your car. With my supplemental income, I bought this, a beautiful new convertible Bentley. I mean, talk about a gorgeous machine. Oh my God, the car is fantastic. Anyway, all right, that's supplemental money. Another reason is you want more free time. You want to travel, vacation, hobbies, get things done. You want to relax. You want to join an exciting new career. Nothing better than aesthetics in the wellness markets. I'm telling you, it's just booming every single day. Reason number 5, you can eliminate all your on-call and overtime forever. I used to work with PAs. They would actually fight nose to nose for 3 hours of overtime. I'm like, you people are ridiculous. You're crazy. But they were trapped. They didn't understand how to get out of it. All right. So the last reason is just killer. And for me, it's the best one. Entrepreneurship, change of career, pride of ownership, increase your status and you control your future. Now, here's how your life is going to change. The guy in the picture over here is my business mentor in life. I love him to death. He passed away 2 years ago, and I miss him every single day. Right? So John told me, the guy's very, very wealthy. He said, I was complaining about my job and how dead end it was. And he goes, Tommy, how much do you make? And I'm going to use John's language with this because he had a way of getting a point across, right? And John's the kind of guy, when he would start speaking in a room, everyone would just quiet down and they would just listen to what he would say. But we were like super best friends, so we would talk all the time. So he goes, Tommy, how much do you make? And at the time, it was about 125-ish, 130-ish. And he goes, wow, that's something. He goes, let me tell you something. If it took me longer than 2 weeks to make what it takes you a year to make, I'm having a shit 2 weeks. And I just stopped and listened, and I looked at the phone, and I was in complete disbelief. But he said it for impact, not to brag. He was not a bragger at all, but he said it for impact. And he goes, look, if you want to change your life, you have to change the way you're doing things. He goes, you need to expand your title to the fullest extent. You need to make more in a fraction of the time. You need to separate yourself from every single other person doing what you do, and you need to own versus work for. And that is how you will change. That's how you expand. And from there, when you own your own practice, this is what you'll say. You expand your status to the fullest extent. You could say, I own my own practice. I own my own regenerative medicine practice. I own my own anti-aging practice, my own aesthetics practice, however you want to call it. But that gives you the freedom to blast through the income ceiling. Here's another way that your life is going to change, and it has to do with the income ceiling. You're going to enter the top 1% Income Earners Club. And right now, that magic number is 421,000 plus. All right. Did you know the average medical doctor in the U.S. for 2020 made 212,000? That means it's the average. That means there's people making way more and people making way less, right? Here, you'll 2 times or 3 times or 4 times that with a fraction of the headache and the stress. All right. So, yeah, I mean, you guys are getting excited yet? I would imagine you are. Okay, now there's 3 areas to master for you to become a successful injector. And I don't mean areas around the face. I mean broad-based. And then one is clinical. And you need to know, clinically, you need to know the anatomy and physiology. You need to know the products. You need to know dosages, patient care technique, and all that. You need to know business. And you need to know front office. You need to know scheduling and the presentation, like the first impression. If someone comes in and the first impression of you, you need to stay focused and not get distracted. You need to know communication and low expenditures and how to manage referrals. Referrals are so key. And on the financial side, you need to know technique and the procedures with the highest ROI, return on your investment. You need to know marketing and advertising, and you need to know how to manage your taxes. right? In the Academy for Non-Surgical Aesthetics training course, there's 80 plus videos that I go in super deep dives into all of this, plus key referrals for marketing people and accountants and all that kind of thing, lawyers and all that. These are my go-to people. But for now, let's go into clinical a little bit more. When it comes to clinical, what you really are asking yourself is, can I actually do this? That's the question. Can you do it? And I'm telling you, you have 80% of the knowledge needed to start doing Botox injections in the next 7 days, because you already know needles, you already know injections, you know syringes, you know how to draw up medicine into a syringe, you know how to alcohol prep a patient, you know how to talk to patients and introduce yourself. Hey, how you doing? You're 80% there. All right. This was one of the first charts I saw. And it's it's a little bit daunting. Like, wow, that's a lot of areas. Like, and you need to know dosage for each one, where exactly, which muscles, which way they're functioning, all this kind of stuff. But here, in the most popular injection sites, you only need to know 3. And doesn't that make it easier when these are eliminated? You need to know frown lines, forehead lines, and crow's feet. And I'm telling you, this is 95% of what you need to know. Does that make you feel a little better? I hope it does. And this is one of the slides from the training course. This is the glabella function. There's your procerus, depressor supercilii, your corrugators, your frontalis, and your ubicularis oculi. And you will know that procerus moves vertically, downward. It pulls downward. So if you see someone with a horizontal line, probably everyone's going to look in the mirror, horizontal line between your eyes, that's your procerus is very active and it's crinkling the skin right there. Women do not like that, and guys don't like it either. Especially if you're in sales, you want to eliminate that, so you know you have to hit procerus harder. Does that make sense? Also in the course, you're going to learn locations, dosages, pressure, speed, depth. You're going to learn dilutions with products and costs. You have to manage your cost. Which syringes to use? I'll tell you right now, the Braun, the inkjet are the best syringes available. There's no way. See the green that goes to the tip of the hub? You don't lose any product. I calculated for a practice I just joined, they were losing about $12,000 a year in lost product in the hub, right there in the little tip of the syringe. I switched them to inkjet because they were paying their expenses. I was just saving them the money. Inkjets are very expensive. They're $1 a syringe. And when you're going through 150 syringes a week, that adds up a lot. All right. So I don't use those. I'll show you which ones I use. Also, what must-have supplies do you need on day one? I was with a girl I was helping get started, and her patient came in, and she goes, Tommy, oh my God, I don't have gauze. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm like, tell her you'll be right back. So I took a ride with the first store, didn't have it. It was close by. So we had to go a distance to get to a second store, which had gauze pads. And she made the person wait 40 minutes till we got back. That's the problem, not having the syringe, the supplies that you need on day one. But we'll go over that, and there's a surprise coming for you guys. Now, how do you start injecting Botox patients with no risk? This is the whole problem. When you go to a flyaway, a course that you got to fly to, which they're all over the place, and they'll entice you into, with a low price or whatever, you'll inject people, or you may not inject people. It depends on how tight they are with the rules and regulations. You may not be allowed to touch them. It might just be a visual thing. But if you take the course in your area, you're treating people who you're never going to see again. So you don't know how it comes out, right? So how to practice on your patients for practically free is a huge, huge deal, because the products are expensive. It's going to be $500 to $600 a bottle, and you're only going to treat a couple of people with the bottle. How do you practice for free? Normal saline. That's it. Bacteriostatic, normal saline. And this is the best, most perfect way for you to start, because it's safe. There's no adverse effects. You will gain a ton of experience. When your husband or wife comes home, you grab them, you put them in a headlock, you start sticking them in the head with a needle. You just tell them what you're doing, you practice it. But there's no negative consequences, because it's basically water. Do you understand? Now, you will treat the patients who helped you to a cost-price real treatment when you're ready to give them the real stuff. You could speak to your rep. I'm not going to say anything about that. Just talk to your rep. Ask them, hey, I'm doing this, and can you help me out? And let them answer you. That's all I could say here. But what this does is it gives you practice. It gives you confidence. You build relationships. You start asking for referrals immediately. You will build experience right out of the gate, even though it's normal saline. You're going to learn from home. It's going to save you a fortune. You're going to build excitement within your community and within your network of people. right? You will start establishing your clientele. And the main thing is there's no contract and no ship to issues. And this is huge. No ship to issues saves you a ton of time because it's going to take about 2 to 3 weeks till you get all that crap set up. And here you could just start practicing tomorrow with it. Does it make sense? You guys get this? It's like a big, big, big thing here. All right, let's go to business. What you're really asking with business is, do I have the time and is it going to be worth it? Can I compress time and increase income? That's what the business part is about. Now, here is my last hands-on training. That hands-on, in quotes, get that, is on incorporating stem cells with adipose fat transfer. The cost of the seminar is $4,200. Airfare, hotel, food, car, it was another $950. Total cost $5,150. When I got there, oh, sorry, you can't record anything. You cannot take pictures. Slides are not released because it has to do with stem cells. No doctor wants a name on stem cell trainings. The hands-on meant I got to hold the cannula that they were going to use for the fat, to take out the fat in the person. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You said this was hands-on. I owned a lipo practice for a year and a half. I did lipo on hundreds of patients. I don't need to hold a cannula. I forgot most everything in about 2 weeks. And because it was very technical, very difficult, very high-end training. And I was so pissed off at this. My last marketing seminar, it was $28,000 because that's what marketing seminars cost. They're a lot more than medical seminars. And then add the airfare, hotel, food, transportation, all that. They told us we would have access to all the slides. We didn't get any slides, we didn't get any audio, and we didn't get any video. And I was livid, furious. So I said the next course that I am a part of, it is going to be virtual instant access based. Why? Because it saves weeks to months to years. You don't have to wait till this person comes in and does a special training that you know is good and you want to see it. It could be 3 months away, and that'll delay you 3 months, right? Or you start looking up someone on YouTube. You don't know if they're good or bad. They might seem good, but they might be awful. I know someone who does courses on YouTube that they've had 4 vascular occlusions. 4, not 1, 4. People go their whole career without 1, thank God, right? So you have to be careful who you're actually learning from. So here's something that I have always taken with me. How do you bake an award-winning blue ribbon cake? Crazy question, huh? You can, 1, enroll in a French pastry school, which will take years, or you can follow a recipe. Which one do you think is smarter? 2-part solution to shaving time, and it comes from Tony Robbins. Who else? Who else but Tony Robbins? The path to success is to take massive, determined action. And 2, if you want to be successful, find someone who has achieved the results you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results following principle 1. Take massive, determined action following principle number 2. See how these 2 ping pong off of each other? Both are very key to you doing the next step, which is following a recipe. And this is the recipe. You add the clinical to the business, and that will equal the financial. So this is how I basically built what I built. You become a master with 100% focus on the 3 areas: glabella, forehead, crow's feet. That's it. Someone asks you to do something else, shy away from it. You don't need the money that desperately that you have to do it. Just no, not allowed to do it. Just put 100% focus into becoming an absolute master. Your knowledge will start to increase, right? And you'll start to get better. Then your confidence will increase. That's when you add a price bump, when you know you're fantastic at those areas, right? Your treatments will start to increase. Now you're going to add depressor anguli oris and mannequin lines and lateral brow lift and bunny lines, things like that. So your patients will start to increase. The referrals will start to increase. Your schedule is going to start to get fuller, which is what you want. And then, of course, your income is going to increase. And now one thing that you need to be aware of and that you have to become an expert in, and of course you can, is the art of upselling. And what the hell am I showing a burger and fries for? Here's why. McDonald's, it cost them $1.91 in ad spend. What they spend to get you to come into the store to buy the hamburger, right, at $2.09. That's not much profit. It's only 18 cents. But then someone behind a counter says, you want fries and a Coke with that? Yeah, $1.77. That is $1.32 profit instantly, 8 times the profit from the same person with just one sentence. It's a multi-billion-dollar, multi-international company, yet most employees cannot even tie their shoes properly. But they know how to say this one sentence. This is the sentence that is going to be vital for you to learn. And here's what I'm talking about. The patient is sitting in your chair for typical, boom, frown lines, the lines between the eyes. average, you're going to charge $200 for that. In Vegas, we have to charge for the whole bottle, so it's a little bit different. So I'll use vague general terms for this, and ask me about that at some other time and why it's the whole bottle here. But it's a state law, which makes it actually a hell of a lot harder to do business here than anywhere else in the country. But figure $200 for that area. I would say, hey, have you ever thought about softening these lines here, forehead and crow's feet? If you let these go, they're going to get etched into your skin like they're already starting. It's going to get harder and harder to erase. Well, how much is that? So 200. You know what? Okay. All right. You know what? Just do it. You know, let me ask you a question. How are your energy levels? We have a special going on in B12 shots. They're regularly $20 each. But since you're already getting Dysport, the special for Dysport patients is 4 shots for 65. It's 19% off, and it's ending this week. Do you want me to add that on? You know what? Yeah, I am so exhausted. You know, how much is it? 65. Okay, you know what? Put that on. 65. This takes 10 minutes to do. You went from $200 to $465 in about 10 minutes. Do you see how important the upsell is? You're not taking advantage of them. You're doing what they need to be told. They don't know to ask for different things. Many times, some of them do. The more experienced ones do. Now, here's a different category, Groupon. Groupon can either make or break your practice. It's how you use it. And I go into specifics exactly how you use Groupon instead of Groupon using you. All right, I'll just put it like that. For Groupon, we wanted the ratings. So it's a 5-star. We have tons of 5-star ratings, and I think this is the first one that we got. So I just took a screenshot of it. 150 units, Dysport, $349, and it's been hundreds of people who've come in for this. But again, absolutely amazing. I found my new go-to place for all my fillers and Dysport. Boom, done. Great. You upsell them. Now with Groupon, initially it's little to no profit on your neurotoxin. Don't get greedy with it. Understand this is why they're coming in for the upsell. How this works is you're going to upsell them a microneedling series, dermal fillers, a vampire facial. You upsell them skincare and nutrition. You upsell them chemical peels or sculpture or whatever it may be, right? That is next. You build a relationship with them based on their first impression of you, which has to be perfect. I teach all this, don't worry. But what's really going on here is Groupon's customer, which is it's theirs, becomes your patient with their referrals, the patient's referrals, which feed into your database. Does it make sense? You follow me on that? Groupon's customer becomes your patient with their referrals for your database. All right. Now, upsells, follow-ups, and referrals equals money, and a lot of it. For every dollar you spend on marketing for new patients, you'll make 10 to 16 on upsells, follow-ups, and referrals from your existing people. Here's a bunch of rapid-fire tips. You keep your advertising money super tight and very efficient, and you'll get reps all the time trying to sell you stuff. Just say, sorry, it's not in the budget. No magazines, no radio, no TV, no pamphlets, no Valpak, no direct mailers, no Whole Foods book racks. It's all a scam. Trust me, I got burned. You avoid buying any lasers. You avoid all leases for at least a year till you understand what's going on out there. You stay focused on injections, no cool, shiny objects like cool sculpting. Stay away from it. You avoid sales reps like the plague, except for your neurotoxin rep. You use the reward programs on day one. It's an instant 10% raise. Does it make sense? Would you take a $10,000 raise if you make it $100,000 a year? Do you want a 10% raise? Of course you would. Start on day one. Ask for and build referral business ASAP day one. Groupon can make or break you. Same with Yelp. Yelp can be tricky. Use text message instead of phone always, whenever you can. And you follow the recipe that I gave you before, and it'll save you a fortune and it'll save you time. Now, I got to tell you something. After spending tens of thousands of dollars on aesthetics courses, training courses all over the United States, never, ever, ever was I taught what you guys just learned on the previous slides in about 20 minutes. It took years to learn this through my own trial and error. Nobody teaches this stuff. And this is part of the reason why I put the course together. Does that make sense? Let's go to financial. This is funny because what you're really asking here is, will it be worth it? Because obviously, if it wasn't worth it, why would you do it? Right? But we're going to show you how powerful this actually is. So it's how much money can I make during doing aesthetics? And I'm going to show you how you can match your weekly full-time income in 1/10 the time. I'm going to show you a different way of doing it. So here, your average Botox income in Botox neurotoxin, whichever one you want to use. Average income per patient is going to be about 175, maybe a little more, maybe a little less for doing 3 areas. I took 100 grand a year is just a straightforward salary for PAs, nurse practitioners, whatever. And I divided this by 52 weeks. It comes out to 1923 a week, but that is for a 40-hour week, which, by the way, whole other topic. It's the worst tax position to be in. All right, but different topic, different story for a different day. Now, I divided how much you're making per week by $175 per patient, which brings you to 11 patients needed a week for you to match what you're currently making with your 40-hour week. The difference here is the average Botox appointment takes 20 minutes. It doesn't. It takes 5. But it's the, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. But blah, blah, all the chit chat that takes place. So the total injecting time is less than 4 hours or 1/10 your time. Remember, less than 4 hours versus 40 hours. Okay. Imagine when you're making $300 a patient or $500 a patient or $1,500 a patient, which will come in time. I'm going to show you some stuff in a second. What you really want to find out here and sift through the crowd is your high-end referring clients and what is one high-end client worth to you. It's incredible. I have a whole lot of these people, and you treat them very nice because they make or break your year, actually. Let's say this 40-year-old lady, this illustration, of course, neurotoxin 3 times a year, 600, dermal filler, 540, vampire facial series, almost 2,000, VI peel, chemical peel series, 770. It comes to about almost $4,000 for her per year that I make from her. But what she's also doing is sending me a whole lot of people. And one person can send you 25, 30, 40 people. Okay. So all this, roughly speaking, is almost $15,000 for the year from one person sending this. Now, your goal is to build these kind of people. So imagine having 5 of these. It's $74,500 a year. And by the way, you're still part-time, very part-time doing this. So would the $74,500 per year help you? Would it give you some extra income and help you pay off some bills and help pay off for, in the new kitchen and that sort of thing? Do you see how this all kicks in, right? Let's keep going. Using free marketing. It's so key. Why? Because it's free. Would you like me to show you how to add $190 profit in 30 seconds from one patient? Try this. You're on the phone with them and you're texting them, hey, if you bring in a new friend, I can give you both a discount. Both is key. Do you want to call around? See if anyone wants Botox or Dysport? Text me back. What you're doing here is called leveraged marketing. You're leveraging their network of their friends using a marketing principle called a discount, right? Here's what happens with this. Now, they will get, patient 1, patient 2 will get the discount. So it goes from $175 to $150 profit. So 150 is 300, not 175 anymore. You almost doubled your income with one text, but you're not done yet. Now, remember, I mentioned the rewards programs that you can start on day 1. You will add $20 minimum each for the patient by placing them in I use the Aspire Rewards program. 30 plus 40 is $340, right? $340 profit in 30 minutes of work, which is probably less than that, is $680 an hour, times 11 patients is $3,740. Do you see how all this comes together real quick, real fast? You're compressing time and you're increasing income really quick. Here's another huge, huge thing. I hear this from clients all the time. I called so-and-so and they didn't answer, so I called you and I'm going to try your place out. How do you expedite clients coming to you? You make it easy for them to find you, communicate with you, and schedule with you. That means texting. In one word, texting. Watch this. Soon you're going to be getting appointment text just like this. Hey, can you get me in for Botox on Tuesday, May 21st, early, right? Here's another one. Hey, Tom, it's so-and-so from the Body Spa. Do you have time Friday afternoon for Botox? Hi, AM or PM? Afternoon after 2. Okay, see you at 2. Look at the times, right? Well, before we get to that, phone calls, it's a 15% response rate. Text messages, it's an 85% response rate. I go through a deep dive on how to do this effectively, that you're not making people mad by hitting them with text messages, because you will piss people off so quick. You don't want to do that. There's a proper way to do this. I go into it deep in the course. But look at the times. She responded to me at 6:37. She's scheduled by 6:40. Took 3 minutes. And here's another tip. You want to always narrow it to AM or PM, weekday or weekend, you yourself or you plus one. Hey, Tom, it's time to get rid of this crease in my forehead. You have availability next week. I'll have Leslie call you to schedule. She'll probably call from this number. 2:29 to 2:30. She was scheduled like in the next minute. All right. Here, see the times? New referral texts can start coming in the first month. It's very exciting. And here's what it looks like. By the way, passing your name and number out, one cocktail waitress, and they all follow suit. Here's another one. Hi, how are you? I sent a couple of my Israeli friends over, and I know who this person is. She's probably sent me about 45 to 50 Israeli friends. I don't know why Israelis love me. I don't know why. They just do. But I have so many people from this one girl who sends them. Hey, Doc, where are you now? My girls are in desperate need to see you. This is Jolene, just in case, blah, blah, blah. And this is what happens. They send people in floods to you. Here's a very key question. Which person here is scheduling Botox patients? Look at them close. Which one do you think is doing it? You don't know because the phone is on vibrate. And here's your next tip. Don't make this a public thing right out of the gate because you don't want your employers to know you possibly are quitting in 6 months because you're making more than what you're making at your job. Just a tip. You can do whatever you want. I wouldn't do it. All right. So it's exciting, isn't it? I mean, can you picture yourself doing this? And can you imagine how you're going to feel when you realize you just made over $1,000 in 3 hours helping people look better and feel better about themselves? I had a girl come up to me who I taught. She's very good, really good. She went with lasers also. And she came up to me and she goes, Tommy, I can't believe I made over $4,000 today. I'm exhausted, but I am so excited. I'm like, told you. Here's another tip. Do your books every day because it's very exciting to see what you make on a daily basis and to see your hard work pay off. It's very, very cool. Okay, Botox, Dysport, and Xeomin. I call these the Great Gateway. Why do I do this? It's because you're going to get a magic question. And that magic question is, what else do you think I need? When they say that, they trust you. And this is what happens when you're good at what you do. You'll expand and you'll advance yourself. And these are all the treatments that I offer now. Each one, they pay for them. They pay, and then your confidence increases, and that increases your referrals and your communication with them, and they will start sending more and more people for all these different things. Here's what happens with the revenue when this takes place. This is a vampire facial. This is one day after. She looks even better. It's 2 years later. She looks even better. $8.50 an hour. These are a bunch of popular fillers. Here's the lips, top to bottom, and then right to left is new. Fillers, I make about $2.75 for 30 minutes work. You'd think this woman is happy. Look at the difference. You have to be the best at what you do. Again, $2.75 for 30 minutes work. Vampire facial, $6.80 an hour. Vampire facelift, she's holding her plasma there. This is $8.66 for 45 minutes. Vampire facelift with 2 syringes, Restylane lift, $1,480 for 90. It takes me about an hour and 15 minutes to do this. $1,480 for that. And the P-shot, $16.70 an hour. O-shot, $13.50 an hour. Lipo, $800 an hour. Fat transfer, $3,000 an hour. I don't do fat transfer anymore. I hate it. Hair restoration, easily over $1,000 an hour. Shockwave therapy, $2,000 an hour. My lease payment is $384 a month. Do you think I make money in this? Here's another one, B12 shots. It's a license to print money quickly. A $20 shot literally takes 30 seconds to do, takes a minute, whatever. 10 patients in 10 minutes, $200 in 10 minutes. That comes out to $1,200 an hour if you extrapolate it out. If you get a medical assistant to do it for you, you pay her $14 an hour, you'll wind up making about $11.26 an hour. And you don't even have to do it. So can you see how you can match your weekly full-time income in 1/10 the time? It's $200, $500, $800 an hour, $1,400 an hour, $2,000 an hour. So I ask you, is it worth it? Of course it's worth it. And it's a hell of a lot of fun. And it's different every single day. And it's great. And you're your own boss. And it all starts with Botox. And that's why I call it the Great Gateway. Let's recap. Are you guys still with me? I hope you're with me with this. We're going to recap what you've learned. It's the 60-second recap. Regardless of your background, you can transition into aesthetics. You learned how you can match your full-time income in 1/10, 1/20th the time, really. You can 2 times or 3 times or 5 times, 10 times the income in aesthetics is your full-time job. You learn you already know 80% of what you need to know to start doing the injections and making money in the next 7 to 14 days. You learned as an employee, you are incredibly financially constrained. You learned in aesthetics, your career and your income possibilities are definitely infinite. You learned with a recipe you can shave years off the learning curve. You learned how you can scale to the top 1% income in the United States. With your job, you cannot. There's no way you're going to do it. No way. I don't care what you're doing. You're not going to do it. You learn through texting, you can access, communicate, and schedule patients quietly, privately, while you're at your full-time job. Very important. You learned how having a mentor can expedite your success. You learned how instant access training is vital to saving time. You learn that learning the art of neurotoxins is just the beginning. Does all this make sense to you guys? Doesn't it make sense? It's like the coolest thing ever. Sorry if you feel like what this picture looks like with the fire hose to the face. I told you guys there was going to be a lot of information, but I have a question to ask you guys, all right? If I were to give you two options. Number one, you take everything you learned here today and you completely 100% disregard all of it, and you do everything by yourself. All the marketing, the advertising, the injections, equipment, protocols, all the upsells, learning how to do the texting, scheduling, every bit of it you do on your own by yourself. Or number two, you have a personal mentor to help coach you every step of the way and get you started in aesthetics in a fraction of the time. If you choose number one, that's cool. It doesn't matter to me. All this was meant to do is give you guys a look into the world of aesthetic medicine and what the possibilities are and what your options are moving forward, okay? If you're the type that wants to do it on your own, that's fine. Best of luck, best wishes. But if you're the number two type, that's kind of me. I like mentors, all right? If you're the number two type, here is where the Academy for Non-Surgical Aesthetics comes in, okay? Is it okay if I share with you what is inside the training program? It is a step-by-step blueprint to expedite your success and efficiency and expertise in the world of non-surgical aesthetics. There's no other course like it, and here's what is included in the course. All right, guys, so rather than listing everything in columns, I figured I'll take you inside the program so you can see for yourself what it is. Here's the home and welcome to the Academy, a short little video. But here is where all the information lies. In the modules, you have 7 of them here, plus a bonus section down here, and all your downloads are here as well. But inside your modules is about 80 plus videos. So here is the first one. You have to start with the basics, intro to neurotoxins. So you're going to get the history, how neurotoxins work, indications for use, neurotoxin choices, the different products out there, common side effects, Botox fun facts. I have a lot of these sprinkled around, and of course, safety information and approved usages. Here in Module 2, we go over the anatomy, which consists of the vascular anatomy and the muscle anatomy. And these you must master. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Module 3, before the injections. Patient selection, the consultation, which is probably one of the most important things to master. Patient preparation and the pre- and post-treatment instructions. Also in Module 3 is handling the products. So which needles are you going to use? How to reconstitute the bottles, mixing up the bottles, and then filling the syringes in dilution amounts. Here in Module 4 is before you launch your business. The best place to spend your dollar, and it's probably not where you think. 5 steps to getting started. How to get your first 5 patients fast. This should take probably 24 hours. Must have supplies for day 1, and then organizing your toolbox so things run smoothly. So we've gone through 4 complete modules here, and now we're just starting to get to the injection section. So again, here's some more Botox fun facts, and then how much fluid actually gets injected. It's pretty surprising. The most popular injection sites, adverse sequelae, real patient dosages, and the order of events on patient day 1. Now we look at the glabella section, and I bet you didn't know there's 5 different frown types. Now you do. Corrugator pearls, glabella do's and don'ts, and then 3 live injections right here. Now we look at frontalis. We go over the anatomy and physiology right here, and then a couple of more live injections for that. Now orbicularis oculi. Again, anatomy, physiology, where exactly you're going to be putting this stuff, and then a couple of live injections. Also some bonus areas, lateral brow lift, which you can make so much extra money by doing these one per side. 1 injection per side. They will love you for it because you're going to be lifting the outer eyebrow, which everyone wants. How to draw up for that, the LBL is lateral brow lift, and then live injections, then additional upper face FYI. Eyebrows, how to deal with them, how to deal with asymmetric eyebrows, which you're going to come across every single day. Ptosis, what happens if you drop an eyebrow and how to prevent it. Avoiding bruises, which you must at all cost. And avoid injecting the problem patient. Holy cow, the pictures I have for you there. Module number 6, marketing and advertising concepts. Does this picture look familiar? We go over this in depth, marketing yourself online in websites and landing pages. Which one is better to get? How to actually start building your business. How to gain instant credibility. In a world of plastic surgeons, how do you gain instant credibility with the second they walk through the door? It's actually very easy to do. Email lists and marketing for holidays. How to manage reviews. How to build your reviews. Office setup. Lightening the mood in the treatment room. Some patients are going to be very nervous. All right, so how to lighten the mood right away and what to do with the patient. I think you should give me a discount. And then using the tools of the trade. Here's 5 or 6 that I use all the time. Canva, Fiverr, Photoshop, PicCollage, using radio ads, and Wave video software. Wave is amazing. It's so cool. Module 7 is a big one. It's office and administrative. And look at all the topics you're going to get here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but the most popular, do I need a medical director? Where should I work? How do I order? Liability insurance. Do I need staff? All these different, we're going to go all over these things. And guys, this is why I say there's nothing like this, because there isn't. It is impossible to cover this amount of topics in depth in an afternoon session with someone who's just coming into town for the afternoon. They're good to do after you do this, because you'll have a basis and a foundation to build from. All right, so hopefully this helped. Okay, very cool, huh? Very complete, very concise, and it's meant to get you started as fast as possible. One thing that I realized when I started doing this was after I would teach the people, they would have the same 3, 4, 5, 6 questions. So we addressed them and we actually incorporated everything in. One of those FAQ type questions was, where the heck do I buy supplies from? So what we did was we put in a bonus, number 1, of a getting started kit. It's nothing fancy, but it's everything that you're going to need to get started. The syringes that I use, you're going to get 100 of them. You're going to get 3cc syringes for the dilution. You're going to 18 gauge needles. You get the 3x3 gauze that I use. You get a box of alcohol pads for you. You're going to get 20 cc's of the Bacteriostatic 0.9. Here is something that is so beyond valuable, you can't even believe it. It's my VIP contact list. Over the years, I've built relationships with the top suppliers, lawyers, accountants, marketing people, financial planners, things like that. You will have access to that list of tried and true, very professional professionals, okay? And another thing you're going to get is business card design. The kit says $500 value. I'm telling you, it's worth $4,000 because of this alone. I know someone, she started in business, and she got a business card. She went on Google, downloaded a picture for her business card, and didn't know anything about copyrights. And she got sued by an attorney group for $6,000 for one picture. Had to get a lawyer, reduced it down to $39.95 for one stupid picture. My business cards, I design them. They're clean, they're professional, they're very nice, and I own the rights to the pictures. So you guys will get all of that. So it saves you that whole headache that you don't even know would be coming, okay? The face chart guide, so ideal. If you forget, you have a patient in the chair and you forget, holy crap, how much do I put in the crow's feet over here? You go to your closet door, you open it up, there's your little cheat sheet right there with the exact amounts. You close the closet door, nobody knows what you just did, and you give the exact amount that you need. The face chart guide is awesome. And you're going to get my dilution guide, how I dilute all the 3 bottles, okay? Very cool to have. Another top question was, what if I'm at my full-time job and a Botox patient calls? How do you handle that? So what we did is bonus number 2. We gave you a deep dive into texting, the perfect VA. VA's virtual assistant. Why and how to use texting to build your practice. And I'll tell you guys, this brings in $20,000 to $30,000 per month into my practice every single month without fail. We are constantly texting people. Another question was, all right, I'm ready to inject. See, they already took the course. I'm ready to inject. How do I find patients? Where do I find them? The secret to this is you go wherever you have the most traffic and successful marketing, which is a salon or a gym, things like that. But the first thing you do is your own phone. You're holding it in your hand. The average number of contacts in any cell phone is 600. I have 4,000 plus. All right. Average is 600. You start here. If you capture 10%, that's 60 patients. If you got 1%, that's 6. And remember what I said about how much money you're going to make with 11 in a week. All right, so you start right here. But what we did on top of this is bonus number 3 is how to get clients marketing scripts. This is another thing that brings in at least 30,000 plus to the practice every month. And once you use these once, you don't have to use them again. The person just keeps coming back month after month, year after year. Okay. Another question, where and how did you get your patient consent forms? Easy. I made them and I had my attorney approve them. You need that, but they're already done for you, so you don't have to do that. If you want to get your attorney to look at them, that's fine. But here is the patient forms. You will download these, and of course, the name of my practice isn't on there. You'll have your own name on there. Next question, what type, big numbers with this question. What type of liability insurance do I need? Is my current insurance good enough? Where do I get it? How much does it cost? Me personally, I'm 1 million, 3 million. I use aesthetics, cosmetic, procedure-based insurance. What I did here, I can't give away all the secrets, but in the course, there is a low-cost liability insurance secret for aesthetics professionals. The coolest thing here is this one little secret. It saves you thousands of dollars. It pays for the entire course and leaves hundreds of dollars for a whole bunch of other things, okay? Here's another thing that you're going to need. Skincare and nutrition. This is a hidden super bonus here because what we do is we're going to set you up with a wholesale buying account with Nu Skin and Pharmanex. They're number one in both categories. The company is world-renowned. They're a $2.5 billion United States-based company with international science-backed R&D. They're number one rated in the world in beauty devices, skincare, nutrition, weight management lines. It's one account. There's no order minimums, all right, which is so key. And there's no medical directors required at all. This could be set up in 15 minutes, and I do this for you. All right, so we'll talk about this once you're up and ready to go. Another question, continued training and coaching, is it available? Yep, there's a private CME page where you will get plugged into. You're going to have tips, pearls, downloads here, continuing training always, Facebook Live trainings, and you're going to get marketing pearls. There's ongoing Q&A all the time. People either text me or they get me on instant message over here. And there's just tons of valuable posts here. There's so much to offer and so much going on here. So it's time for the live treatment. I'm going to show this to you guys, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you what the price of it is. Then we're going to do a recap and whatever questions you may have. All right, we are going to be doing a super quick Botox treatment in four areas on this nice lady that was kind enough to let us videotape this. The doorbell sound that you're hearing is someone just coming to our front door. This will all get edited down. All right, so the three areas. Frown like you're mad. This, raise your eyebrows up. Here's number two, and squint or smile. These, crow's feet, okay? And we're going to put a little bit on the top lip as well.
More.
All right. Here we're doing 50 units. Frown again. Okay, you see the creasing all along the corrugators, all over here. Relax it. Sorry. Yeah, definitely. I would recommend some of the products out front for you for moisturization and serum to rehydrate the skin.
Do you want me to shut it down?
No. This whole thing will get edited down to about 3 minutes. Raise up again. Yeah, see all these. I'm going to soften the whole thing out. And of course you're looking for a vessel, so you don't want to hit anything. I don't use dots at all. I think dots are crazy. It's a waste of time. That zigzag Charlie Brown line is how you get great coverage on a forehead. What I'm looking for is vessels. You don't want to, sometimes you can't see them, but you do your best to not hit any of them. And smile again. See the whole array, the orbicularis oculi that you want to weaken. So always you're pointing either like this or like this, never like that towards the globe. Sorry. Good. Outside. The lines are more prominent on this side.
Mm-hmm.
You know
I
why?
sleep on the left side.
Now you also drive with your sun hitting this side.
Oh.
You're photo aging faster on your left side. I make it look easy. You don't do this without training. To know where to put it, how much to put it, the depth to put it, the angles to put it. You don't try this at home, as the saying goes. All right, that's 3 areas. So that's 3 areas. That's as simple as it could be. All right, very good. Okay, so there it is. It's not that difficult to do. Yes, it takes time to learn it, but the actual work is not that difficult. And like I've said to other students, many of you know about 80% of all this already. So you get the complete Academy for Non-Surgical Aesthetics online training program. You have 7 modules. There's over 80 videos that they're always being updated. You get instant access as soon as all the registration is complete. You can start looking and learning tonight. You get the liability insurance Pearl, which pretty much pays for the whole course. So you get real life marketing scripts. If you were to come in and do a one-on-one with me, it would take about 3 days to go through all this, 3.5 days. I would charge you $13,900. Is that a lot? No. One-on-one mentorship is expensive. Is it worth it? Absolutely it is, because of all the time and the money that it saves you. In addition, you're getting the bonuses, which is the Getting Started Kit and building your practice via text messaging, which is just, it is so awesome. You're going to get the patient forms and the consent forms. Again, they were looked at by my attorney. You should get them looked at by yours, just so they jive with what you're doing in your own practice there. You're going to get the membership for the skincare and the supplements account, which that is a completely separate business model. And you can ask me about this at another time. That the money from that rivals what I'm making in the med spa. Also, you're going to get the private CME Facebook page where you can ask me whatever you want, and there's always ongoing education over there. So if you add this into it, tack on another day. One-on-one, $17,900. So now let's get to what it really is going to cost you. How to get started in aesthetics without business or injecting experience, the online training series. It's $499 for 5 payments, okay? Or you could do 1 payment at $19.99. If you wanted to get started right now, you just go to the academyforaesthetics.com/go, and then you can choose which one you want to do, the 5 payments or the 1 payment. The 1 payment saves you $500. If you want to ask me more questions, that's fine. People do it all the time. Email me at support@academyforaesthetics.com, and we could set up a time where you'll go on a schedule and we can chat for 15 minutes or so. Here's what one of my students wrote to me. Tommy, awesome course, $24.99 is a steal for this. We paid $8,000 for a laser certification that was useless. Russ Karen Med Spa owner. And let me just mention something about the $499 for the 5 payments. That is profit on 2 patients. If you're going to do 3 areas, that's 2 patients a month pays for your training. You can see 2 patients in 30 minutes. And the course is designed to teach you how to do $100,000 a year part-time. So to me, that's a deal I will make every day, every day of the week. Here is what some other people had to say about it. Training course, exactly what the industry needs. It's a 5-star review. Irene, a nurse. Hi, I love this program. Let's see. Matt, he's a PA. Thank you for creating this. Gave me the confidence to start taking clients. Really amazing program. Another PA. The answer course broke everything down on how to get started in aesthetics and helped me take action. I now have an up and running med spa, which he does. All right. So here you go. Here's the recap on it. I'm going to go through some rapid fire questions that I know people already have. And again, list your questions over here and we will get to them. We'll answer every one of them. And if I don't get to them tonight, I will address them, each one of them personally. Okay. So how much money did you initially invest in this business? It was right around $5,000. Is right. And I had 5,000 in savings ready to put in, but I didn't need it because I started making money and the money started to pay back already what I put in. I started making money in month one. Do I need a medical director? Well, it depends. If you're an MD, you don't need one. If you're a nurse practitioner in most states, you could do this solo. Is a nurse practitioner most PAs? Yes, you're going to need a medical director. If you're DO, no. Dentist, no. So there's the answer to that. What does the medical director do for me? A lot of people really stress over this. The medical director is a great thing because it allows you to move forward. It's like a get out of jail free, for lack of a better example. It allows you to move forward as fast as you can. And it's relatively nothing compared to what the upside potential is. So what they do is they allow your business to move forward as fast as you can possibly move it. Who should you use as a medical director? Someone you get along with and someone who's not breathing down your neck every day. That's really the main thing, and someone who's not overcharging and take advantage of you. I go into all this, what parameters and how to go about all this. How much should I pay my medical doctor? As little as you possibly can. Even if they want $200 more a month, that's $2,400 a year. It's better that it's in your pocket than theirs. There's a lot of tricks on how to approach this. I go through this in the course. Should I start out doing Botox parties? Yeah, a lot of fun. The answer to the question, no, don't, because it's a liability nightmare. Because I've done tons of these, they start drinking and it gets out of hand right away. Right away, it starts to get out of hand. And you don't want anyone with a cell phone there videoing you, injecting someone who's drunk. God forbid they fall, hit their head on a corner of a table or something, or they get into a car accident. This is the first time I had Botox and this person and 3 months later, you get a call from a lawyer. It's a nightmare. You don't want to put yourself in that kind of situation. Should I work for myself or for someone else while I'm learning? Total personal decision. It depends how much of a self-starter you are. I worked for someone else first, and did I have to? No, I could have just gone out right on my own. But you guys are the recipient of all my nightmares. That's where I got all my stories from of how screwed up everyone is out there. And there are so many, I could keep you busy for a week and a half telling you stories. Yeah, that's all I can say. It's a personal decision. You want to work for someone, you want to work on your own, totally up to you. How much should you pay for rent? Easy answer, as little as possible for the best possible place in the nicest area, type of facility dependent. If you're able to do salons in your state, do those, because the hidden opportunity that's in there is you could possibly be medical director for a lot of the estheticians with the lasers and things like that. And their fees into you pays your rent and pays your insurance, pays a lot of different things. With what's going on in the world in commercial real estate, you can find great places at very low rent costs. So it's actually a great time. What do I say when someone asks, if you give me a discount, I will send all my friends to you? Yeah, great. They never do. You can brush this off. There's a lot of ways to approach it. I cover it in the course. But the best thing to do is you blame it on someone else. I can't do it. The business director for the company, he needs to see your referrals. And then I can add some. I can't do anything without his approval on it. You get it off your hands because people will take advantage of you. You don't want that. Next question, should I and how do I take credit cards? Should you? I show you how to take cards in the course. There's numerous different avenues for that because you have to watch out for percentages and how much fees are. Should you do it? Yeah. Reason being, it gives you credibility, but if you're going to run $100,000 through your credit cards in a month or a year, are you not going to do that because you're paying 3% on it, which is $3,000? I would rather pay $3,000 and accept $97 in credit card charges than not take it at all. All right, so yes, you have to take credit cards. Do I need a business license and how do I get one? The best thing to do with this is you Google it for your area. It depends what your state and area requires. I have a county and a state license over here. And the best way to do it, Google or contact the Chamber of Commerce and they'll help you get started with it. That's what they do there. What is the first thing you suggest doing? Take the course. People try all these different avenues around this. You take the course first. There's 80 videos. That's 80 different questions that will be answered. Then you hit me with, or you hit the Facebook group with other questions. All right, they're more educated questions. You take the course first and it'll teach you. Money back guarantee, yes, there's a 14-day money back guarantee, but you have to do the course. The reason for this is there's pirates out there. Sorry to say, but it's the reality that we live in. People steal information, and I have to protect the course. But ordinarily, yeah, most people are not pirates. So there's a 14-day money-back guarantee on it, sure. How can I come to your place to do a private one-on-one? At this point, you can't. That's why the schedule is nonstop from morning to night, and it's all different treatments. So that's why this course was created, to give you guys all the info that you didn't have to fly in and spend money on airfare and food and hotel and all that kind of stuff. So this is the better way to do it. Email me if you have a special reason or something like that, and then we can take care of it. This seems too expensive. I think I could find it cheaper. Good luck. Good luck finding it cheaper. Again, you can find classes that will teach you Botox. That's fine. What about what I said with the trademarks and the copyrights on the business card? These places don't teach you that stuff. That alone could save you thousands. There are so many things in here that, knowing what's in here, I would drop 15 grand, 20 grand on this course in 2 seconds. Good point. Even Wayne Gretzky had a coach. Tiger Woods, best golfer in the world, best hockey player in the world. They both have coaches. Everyone needs a coach. So it's nothing to be embarrassed about. I needed coaches too. I still have coaches with this. So yeah, use what's in front of you. The course is amazing to get you from A to Z as quick as possible. All right, guys, this brings us to the end of the webinar. I want to thank you so much. I so appreciate your time. I know how busy everyone is. Hopefully this was enlightening, and it's inspiring to you guys to take this and move forward in the field. It's only getting bigger, and it's just so cool. It's the best thing I ever did. I'm going to stay on and answer questions specifically that are in the chat box. So you have the information, academyforaesthetics.com/go. And there's the email address if you have specific questions. Thanks again. I will see you guys out there. All right, take care.